Welcome everyone. Today I have a very exciting summoners build with two unique concepts I want to share with you guys. And yes, we'll go over to the replays very soon. I just want to show you guys what's happening. So currently, this is my character. I'm gonna switch back to my main weapon. Look at all the minions that are getting suicidally destroyed. And what is happening is, those minions provide me with bonus mana regen that feeds back into my defensive potentials with Mind Over Matter. And I'm gaining about 95, close to 100 manas as I regen the mana. And that's not all, guys. So as those minions are summoned and also resummoned, all of those minions, including my snipers, have the skill with Mastered. And Mastered allows me to enjoy each type of the summoned minions, permanent minions, providing me with bonus damage. So look at the HP of, look at the damage of the snipers. It is 16k each times 28, right? So here this is 9,000. So this almost doubled my damage with Mastered because I have so many different unique monsters. Now let's come over to the replay. Now I do switch out of the weapon because they get quite annoying exploding in the hideout. That's why I switch out of the weapon. I don't want them to be exploding all the time. I'm purposely making them to die. So what is the second concept of this build? This is tested, as you can see, in a tier 16, just to show you guys over here. I also decided to spice things up to have a burning ground this time for tier 16. So what is also tested is I'm getting shoulder pains, and I want to play a summoner with less stress. So this is a hands-free demonstration of the build. I'm not casting my rituals, I'm not casting my curses, not casting anything, I'm just moving my mouse. Hands-free. And I want to show you guys that this build can do tier 16 hands-free. And this means that, yes, at the boss you can still cast your spells, which will double your damage, but you don't have to. And this allows you to kind of sprint around in the map, just run around, and your minions will kill everything. I made it kind of simple and like a lazy summoners version that I can just run around. My minion snipers will kill everything. They do have a bit of the delays. Nothing gets wiped instantly, but it is fast enough. You can see here we're doing the abyss over here. I'll fast forward a little bit because it took me a while to loot items, which is very silly. And yes, here I purposely tanked everything, including fire, and I was quite durable, as you can see. So back to the hands-free version. The second thing on the tester is, because my minions gives me damage boost and also they keep dying and also resummoning, the bonus mana regen allows me to be very durable, while the damage is pretty high with the output of 28 snipers hitting for 16,000 each. And then they double the damage once I cast offerings and curses, which I'm not even having to. Now, you might be wondering what happens when the boss is that you can do adjustment changes for your gems, which in this replay I did adjust the gems from the fog into rapid fire, which give us more attack speed. But I'll show you guys another version which I don't even bother changing the gems. So we just run all the way to the boss pretty much hands-free. You can cast your curses onto the boss, which you cannot charge out of it. The damage is very good against the boss as well. Now, do keep in mind, we are a little squishy compared to the energy shield version of the summoners, which is kind of the traditional meta. I'm going with, Mind Over Matter as defensive mechanics, but this allows me to tap into over 650 spirit. So in that, how much do I have? Oh, I switch back? Yeah, 645. I lower spirits a little bit just to max the damage. So just to show you guys over here, we have tons of mana regen. Oh, where did I go? Yeah, tons of mana regen. Some decent defensive capacities with not 100% glass cannon. So here, this is another tier 16 map, just to show you guys the similar build. And this time I don't even bother changing the gems before the boss. We're using fog over here just for a faster clear. I've tested a lot of support like multi-shot, fog, ricochet, and it seems fog to be the best in damage and also in, mostly everything. So I took out the rapid fire, which is used against the boss. We're just using fog to map, and it is very smooth. I'll fast forward a little bit. You can see 90% of the time we just run around. We can sprint around as long as you don't charge into enemies. And I finally feel good about the summons because, firstly, this helps with shoulder pain. I'm not pressing any buttons except looting items. And if I want to, I can still cast the curses and also rituals to boost my damage. But I don't really feel the need to. And yes, sometimes you still lose health, but just pop a potion. But most of the time, you're quite chill because you have tons of regen and your snipers will do all the work. All you have to do is pretty much loot items and also avoid burning grounds and traps. Now, we will be fast forwarding a little bit. So so that you can see the fight over here. So this time I didn't bother to adjust my sockets, so I'm using fork support, which is probably not the best against the boss, so I can swap into rapid fire or just +1 minion skill level. Now do keep in mind, I'm not level 90 yet, so I can still get my gem to level 20 as well. You can see, damage is superb against single target. And after this video, I'll try to get myself to level 90 and then start testing out Uber bosses to show you guys the powers. So looking over here, this is actually keeping the fork support. Now with the fork support and without the fork support, it's a big difference. So just to show you guys the damage, this is 13,000 damage, and with the rapid fire support, we have 16,000 damage. And this means I could have been even stronger with the offerings 26,000. So yes, the build has some decent damage, not ultra glass cannon, and I want to explain the concept and everything related to the build with you guys in more details in this video, even the ideas behind the support gems of the suicidal weapons, and also some additional notes over here and where to get the cheapest specters, and the update from the previous build, how you want to transition, and the potential of the master support not working, because some viewers has been telling me about this. I'm not 100% sure, but we try to work around with it. And also getting your summons to higher skill rank actually reduces spirit cost. So you have to be aware of this when you have massive summon army with a suiciding team. So that said, that was quite a bit to go through. And yes, I think what we do is let's come over to my character. Now, if you haven't seen our previous video, the previous video is when I started the concept after acquiring myself the Timeless Jewels. The Timeless Jewels, I have a video to teach you about crafting. If I get time, I'll teach you guys exactly how I crafted this one, which is actually very powerful with the bonus 8% to spirit, while having the minor overflow to allow me to have over 3,000 mana with tons of regen. And over here, we also have a spirit gem with 12 spirit per socket. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So about 72 free of bonus spirit. I perk out those points out just so I can max out the attack speed and also damage whatnot. So make sure you watch the previous video, it has more detailed explanation, and this video will build on top of that. Now, what is the concept of the build is that we have Mind Over Matter, and this means we take damages using mana, which is not traditional compared to the energy shield build. Now, picking Mind Over Matter may be a little difficult in the early stages, so I'm recommending going with those gloves, and this allows you to stack mana on kill, socketing jewels and also passives in the early game. And if you look at the links below, most of my leveling and also mid-game builds are related to this. And I do need to do this probably. And this allows you to transition into the latest stage of the game and before you get your Abyss Juice. Now, do you need the 4 modifier for Abyss Juice? Not really. You just need the correct base. Right now it is selling for about 2 to 3 divine, which the price did go up since our previous video. It was selling for 20 chaos to 30 chaos before people knew how to do it. And after we released the video, I think a few thousand people watched it, and then of course people bought into it, and they got more expensive as expected. Now, if you hit the jackpot of having the 8% spirit per 100 tribute, that is at least 100 tribute, that is massive. And then what you want to hit is the 5 bonus tribute. So here I have +5 bonus to tribute, and this really helps me to push to 100 spirit with 100 tributes without needing everything else. The other stuff, the mana regen is a bonus because I'm running a mana recovery build, and the magnitude is just something random. I could have gotten minion damage. So ideally, you don't really need any modifiers, but if you hit the spirit modifier, it sells for a lot of divines. And you just need the right base with Kagor over here. And if you place on this spot, it is very easy to access to this node, and that is the best way to transition into the game. I have talked about how to buy this jewel. It was selling for about 3 to 4 divines, and then I divined it into a maximum 12 spirit. And finding the right secondary small node can help you to stay defensive, or getting some bonus life resistance is not bad. In terms of the other jewel socket over here, we have, I no longer run, mana gain on kill because we don't need that anymore. We're running as much damage as we can. We have the minion bonus damage, attack speed, and so critical chance. Other than that, I'm maxing getting more mana regen, maximum mana, and also stacking minion revive. So why minion revive is quite interesting. So coming over here, in terms of minion revive, I'm actually using really taking into the idea of the essence harvest. Essence harvest over here will recoup, which means regenerate 8% of your mana, and when a persistent reviving minion by this particular minion dies. So this has to be a persistent reviving minion, something you pay spirit to. So the Infernal Hound is not going to die because I placed the brain over here for Infernal Hound, and Infernal Hound will have loyalty, which reduces our damage taken by 10%. I like to keep that. Infernal Hound also have Master and Collie Strike. We'll talk about the links very soon. Actually, maybe it's a good time to talk about it now. The rest of the passives, it is quite straightforward. You would like to only go into this passive once you have the socket juice. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense for you to go for those passives. Keep that in mind. This is about 3 to 4 divine at least. This is about 2 to 3 divine, the basic version. You do want to find the maximum spirit on this one, and then you want to find it over here. Previous video shows you how to find them as well, and also how to craft them. Now, coming back to the juice, coming back to the gems now. We're taking advantage of the essence harvest. So each of those minion dies, I'll get 8% mana gain. So that means my mana will start to overflow and also tons of mana recovery. So here, this is when I switch back the weapon, start with baseline with 55 mana regen, and notice minions die instantly, and then takes about 5 seconds for them to revive, and then die again. And that just pops my mana regen to like almost 150. It's not as broken as the Blood Mage with life regen, but it's pretty sizable because mana is my life, right? So how does this work is I want minion to die as fast as I can. So they can't have fire resist. Keep in mind, if they have fire resist, they don't die as fast. We have Infernal Legion, which burns the Infernal Legion level 3, which burns 30% of minions' maximum life. So I just want them to die fast. So within 3 seconds, they pretty much go down to no life. And then combine this with instability support, which means that when they get to like 15% life, they will explode. So in 3 seconds, this minion will die, and this permanent minion will give me 8% mana regen over the 4 seconds. So this is just one of them. Now we talk about Master very soon, so I'll show you guys how many minions I have. So one minion coming from the weapon, which is the Rattling Scepter, very much needed. So one permanent minion coming from the weapon. And here we have the snipers, of course I need that. And here we have the Force Mage, we have Stone Mage, we have a Blood Thief Wisp of the Spirit, and this is the lowest one that costs only 29 Spirit. We have Skeleton Brute and also Skeleton Ravier, Skeleton Cleric. Each of those uniquely different summon of minions are using the same socketing of gem. Mastered, Minion Instability, Infernal Legion, and also Essence Harvest. The same concept, they die quickly, gives me mana regen, and Master gives 7% bonus damage for the entire team. And this multiplies, right? This is how this doubles up with tons of damage on the sniper. Now, on the topic of Mastered, I do want to talk about this. So, a viewer told me about this, and some said this is fixed. I'm not sure if it's 100% fixed. So if you want to read this post, so it seems to be Master is not working if not all the minions have Mastered. And so I literally have to make sure each of the minions, even the ritual, have a Mastered socket in them. So where is my ritual? So even my pen offering have a Mastered. So every minion have a Mastered gem in them just to be aware. That's not supposed to happen. It wastes the socket, but I don't need the socket, you see. So which is okay. So all the minions are force socketed, and while all the sacrificial minions or suicidal minions are force socketed with Mastered, which helps them to deal more explosion damage. And just if you read this post, pretty much the way around it is that just give all the minions Mastered. And give all the minions Mastered, then that should work around the bug until that is fixed. But if it is fixed, let me know in the comments. And to follow from that, now, how do you get lower cost minions and how do I have so much spirit? We talk about the juice that we have over here giving us bonus spirit, and then the weapon, the amulet, everything else try to give us more spirit, right? So to help you reduce spirit cost reduction, we'll talk about the gears very soon. One of the passives we have is going to be here for 12%. I'm sure you guys all take this one. But did you guys know that, I actually just realized this myself. Did you guys know that lower the level the minion is, the lower the cost of the spirit? So to show you guys an example, here is Skeleton Arsonist. It starts with 90 spirit cost per summon at, I don't know if it's level 18 or 19, but I took all of them to level 19. At level 19, it is definitely 39 spirit per Skeleton Arsonist. Because I just need one, so I got all my minions to level 19 gems. So cost about 4 Exalt, the level 19 gems. You can buy them in the exchange. And just to show you guys, you see all the minions now have a lower cost reduction. So this is 29 cost for the Ravier, and this is 19 cost for the Cleric, and here this is 38 spirit cost. Now, to follow from that, you might be wondering, hey Matt, how come you're not capturing a bunch of spirits and then just using the low cost spirits, the Spectres? The Spectres are own category. You need an entirely different category of minion summons to enjoy the 7% bonus. I used to run 3 different Spectres and it wasn't giving me the 7% bonus, only 7%. So only 1 Spectre is needed. In terms of the Suicidal Spectre, I recommend coming over to this community Exile, which shows you all the minions tested by content creators and streamers. Very thankful for them for doing this. And I had a look around. The cheapest Spectres are 29 cost in spirit, and you can find them here in Act 2, I believe, and also Act 2. Oh, this is Act 3. So if you zoom out a little bit, I think it shows you somewhere. The Zen's Match should be Act 3, and this is Act 2. So once you find those, the 29 spirit cost Spectres, you just need 1. And I haven't found a good Aura bot. In the future, I might replace this as an Aura bot. Finally, in terms of the links, of course, I'll go through the important links with you, but I want to show you guys the Suicidal team, the Exploding team. Why am I using Skeleton Brute, even though it costs 46 spirit, compared to the Skeleton Arsonist, which costs 39 spirit? Is the Skeleton Arsonist have an innate resistance. They have 50% fire resistance, so they're not dying as fast. So if I put this in and I put Infernal Legion in, what's going to happen is they're not dying. They refuse to die, and I'll show you guys over here because I'm using the secondary weapon, so it's a little harder to see, but it's still easy to see. If I click here, so I want to make a max, and look at the Skeleton Arsonist. It's dying not as fast, and then eventually it dies, but I need them to die super fast. So just because of that, I didn't use the Skeleton Arsonist, even though the cost of Spirit Reservation, it is lower than the Brute. And that is all the different type of spirit, the minions you can have. So the Brute costs 46 spirit at level 19, while this costs 39. And in order to compensate for that, I did min max my spirit on my one weapon. So if I go back here, you can see perfectly min max to 1 spirit spear. So the Brute or the Arsonist is your choice. Arsonist dies a little slower, and I wanted them to die on time, pretty much. Finally, why do I switch weapon all the time? Is that in the hideout, and whenever you're not doing things, they explode every 3 seconds. It gets extremely annoying when they're just exploding. Look, have a look at this. Every 5 seconds they get revived. And then when the timer goes, they come back, they explode. It becomes like a noise pollution. So what I do is I keep the summoning the snipers, but I use the weapon set, just keep them on the first weapon set so I can swap them around. This is also great because if you run across the map and if your minions are behind you, if you swap them around, you teleport them right to you, and this is nice. So this is a little trick we used to have, but they took away Blink, which is so annoying. Now, videos take a little long because I love the theory crafting of this build, and it finally works, and so excited to share with you guys. We talk about the Suicidal minions. The Hound is not going to suicide because it has loyalty, which kind of protects us for 10% damage taken. It can be a suicidal one though. We're giving it Calling Strike, so it can help us to take down enemies, and this means we kill rares at 20% and uniques at 5%. Pretty much free damage. I'm using Mastered again, even though Hound doesn't do damage, because of this potential bug. So every minion we have is to avoid this potential bug with Mastered. In terms of the Skeleton Arsonist, we have Heft, which means give us more maximal physical damage. And here we have Brutality that gives us even more physical damage. And here we have Feeding Frenzy for 30% more damage. We have Mastered for like 49% more damage. And here Rapid Attack gives us 25% more attack speed. Tree mapping, if you want to faster clear, you can go with Fog, very good. And if you like multi-shot, it's not bad, but it does reduce your damage dramatically to like how much? Go back. Reduce to 8,000. So 8,000 damage here on the snipers. But if I use fog, it is about 13,000. And of course, if I use rapid attacks, it is the highest against the boss. I am yet to test the legacy gems because they're like 10-20 divines each. But I think legacy gems may give us tiny boost, but not the biggest. So we'll talk about that soon. Back to switch out. So vulnerability is one of the two skills that is not a minion. So vulnerability gives us tons of ammo reduction that boost our physical damage. So curse grant together with efficiency, which can be removed for something else. We have magnified area and also heightened curse. The curse radius is very big. I can lay 2 of them before the boss and just this stays on the ground. Great for damage, but not really needed against any rares as you saw. Finally, Pain Offering was meant to 5 sockets simply because I need a spot for Mustard. I mean, I could take out efficiency too. So efficiency is the bonus one. I don't want to spend too much mana. We'll look into Mega Max this one. So Pain Offering has Prolonged Duration, Dense Macabre, efficiency, and also the Sacrificial Offering, which is great for damage, and also Mustard to avoid the bug. That is the link. Finally, let's come over to the gears. Now, bear with me for the explosion of the minions. Maybe I'll take away the noise. It's been exploding in the back of my head for like hours. That's why I'm kind of sick of the explosion. In terms of the scepters, you want +4 and also some great bonus spirit. Mana is great here because I'm running a mana build. Ideally, I want lots of damage, but this one happened to be corrupted when I bought it, so bonus damage in presence is great. The helmet is also a corrupt version. I do have links in the video below to teach you guys, or show you guys where to search for this helmet. It is an enchanted +1 minion skills, and this gives us +3. The amulet, because our skeleton snipers are fire-based, even though they're not level 20 yet, see, level 31 snipers, because this amulet corrupted correctly. I bought this one, I didn't corrupt it myself, +5. I bought this one quite early in the game, about 5 for divine. Chest gave us a lot of spirit, bonus. Energy shield is a bonus. The Winter's Gamblers give us a lot of spirit, maximum life, and really good resistance and rarity found if you can balance the negative. -21 lightning, and here is +40 lightning. This is -29 fire, and here is +30 fire. So the two rings balance themselves out and perfect for spirits. I bought them for 1 divine each. For the shield, ideally you want increased block chance and also increased maximal resistance shield, but that's hard to find. Tons of life, tons of resistance, and maximal resistance is also great to keep you alive. The gloves go for high energy shield because we convert energy shield into mana as well because of enriched battery. Not as strong as the energy shield build, but tons of energy shield is good. The belt is here to compensate for the lack of armor, mana, stats, or any stats or any resistance. Having 3 charms also means you can run immunity to frozen, immunity to stun, and also I'm lacking chaos resist, so this one helps with chaos. The boots is a must-have to reduce reservation cost. You can get a corrupted version with like 33%, but it's way expensive. I got this one a while back, about 7 divine, and this gives us 13% movement speed. Not the best, but 30% reservation is what I wanted. That should summarize most of it. So, as a final summary of the build, what I like about it and what is the strength and weakness, when testing on the tier 16, pretty much running around, I can tank most things. There's a lot of room for mistakes. I won't say I'm like invulnerable, but it is good. I can say it's kind of unkillable if I play safely, but it's not as tanky as the energy shield. We do have tons of regen though. The best part about it is hands-free, it is stress-free, and having a build that kind of going the reverse summoners, I'm suicidal minions, I'm getting them to die, then I'm benefiting from their death and also having bonus damage is a quite interesting concept, and I'm glad I got it working. Finally, we are very good boss slayer. My future videos will focus on the bridge boss, which shows you map clear and also boss killing with uber bosses. And less running around in tier 16, tier 15 maps, but I'm trying to get to level 90 first. See, tons of damage, and you can run around 80-90% of the time sprinting. That's the best part. I love it. And this means I'm much more mobile. great damage for mapping, and really makes the summoner more enjoyable after the nerf and also loss of the 20% movement speed Aura Spectre, which I will look into a better one hopefully if we can find one. So that is the video guys. The replays include 2 tier 16 runs. You can have a look at both. The first one I try to press no buttons. The second one I try to play properly but without switching the support gem. And let me know what you guys think. Very excited for this build. Been crafting this for 2 days now and it works wonderfully good. Now hopefully you guys found today's video helpful. Again, a big thank you to everyone on YouTube, especially our supporters and also those of you guys who's been supporting me on Patreon as well. And we do have a new feature on the Majestic YouTube channel. If you click onto this, you can become a member. Yes, I've added this just recently, and this will allow you to have early access to videos that is posted a few hours or even half a day earlier if you want to watch those videos a little early. But yes, this will cost money. So please be aware the membership will cost money. And if you do want to watch videos normally, those videos will still be available after 6 to 12 hours, normally on the time we post those videos. And I'll be aiming to post at least one Path of Exile video a day, and this will be including guides, tips, news update, and also the latest tricks that is discovered on both the English and also Chinese community to keep you guys updated. And if you like those videos, make sure you leave a nice comment and also leave a like for those videos.
are you? Try and keep up. Don't lose sight of it. Look sharp. That beast is wrong. Aye, if you've an interest. Aye, if you've... We run in... What brings you...
Darkness descends, and with it, your end. This changes nothing. The mists.
Now before we finish, if you guys haven't subscribed, this is a really good time to do so because I'll be looking into the latest Path of Exile 2 news on different communities and also on our official forum, official webpage. I'll also be looking into the best build for each of the class as the meta develops with the Chinese and also the English community. So stay tuned for the latest update and also guides for Path of Exile 2. And of course, this is gonna be a big month for us. And I'll try to bring you guys all of the latest content and also guides for Path of Exile 2 to come.